getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. And they try to sweep to Jones. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Let's get it.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So on now for the Packers as their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Now a give, right side. Grant. 7 yards there and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Madison running on first down. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. To throw is Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
A big-time return there, 40 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On the Jets sweep, here's Grant. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Right. 319. Watch one. Get 300. Get 300.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And that's complete to Lewis. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to. But he's still
blitz coming, and down he goes. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Rodgers. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Throwing now is Rodgers. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the 1st half. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. To throw, Cousins. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the close fit. To the referee, and that means 4th down. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Good route here.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Hey, Charlie.
Cousins now. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
First and 10 at the 34.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
6-man.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Barr picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
50. Hey, exit. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Hey, black. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up. Check. Check 30.
After the sack on 1st down, Rodgers. Oh, he's able to out-muscle him here as he pulls it in. 23 yards the pickup there.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
From the 16, Rodgers setting up the screen here. Aaron Jones. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Rodgers to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Now Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 44-yard line.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. Past the 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll go again to Jones. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A big kick, 50 yards that time, with a return of 4. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They start the drive with Cook. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now on 2nd and 13, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Rodgers. It got his man complete. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 42 yards. Aaron Rodgers, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks last year. That's the most he's had in one season in his entire career, and he's going to need another one right now. Now it's Rodgers. Escaping, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Danielle Hunter able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers looking deep for Adams. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 6-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, listen, it's a team game. We know that. But where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? They take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again. But on offense, they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right. You just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Darnell Savage, the rookie from Maryland. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And, oh, Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
On first down, it's Grant. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings.
Touchdown.
Corey Grant, 99 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see today if they rely more on the ground game here.
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. He's got Lewis. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr.
Well, they needed the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, but they're not going to get a shot at either. This is a great play here defensively, Brandon, and at a time that they sorely needed one. And that could be enough to help get them out of here with a victory.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing here, Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Vikings, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they'll drive.